So today I wanted to quickly shout out my second and third channel.
Salah.
I hear you scream from the ends of the earth. How is it down there? Doing well? Anyway, it's hard to sell out when you make little to no money from this anyway. So this is more of just a since no one really looks at the recommended channels thing, and I don't think anyone will find this videos if it doesn't have a thumbnail.
Thank you, YouTube!
So basically, because I know that you're all amazing, and definitely not because the only views on them are me, I'm going to be showing you a few highlights and stuff from the videos on there, and some that I'm thinking of putting up.
Ooh, sneak peeks!
Who am I kidding? Who cares? But by telling you I have other channels, that doesn't justify you watching it. That's just being a sheep. I prefer to call my viewers Walds, not sheep. So why should you watch it? There's a few unfinished videos on my second channel, that's where you'll find all the sneak peeks as well, and videos I didn't finish for reasons I'll never explain, and the things I couldn't be bothered to put on my main channel. And so I will play you a clip from the video that was supposed to go on here. The reason I didn't finish it was... told you. Wouldn't think it would be that easy, would you? In all seriousness, the day I was going to finish the video, this one came out, which basically did what I did, but better, faster, and to a bigger audience. So in other words, someone else did it better! I was researching the video for around 3 hours the night before writing the script for it, so thank you, Linkaroo! Brilliant! Here's the clips from the video that are the base of the research. Specifically though, I'm going to be talking about the new storm of the Rocket League community, the recent deal with Epic Games where they bought Rocket League. As someone who doesn't rely on YouTube and Rocket League for my living, unlike some other YouTubers, I thought I could look at this from an objective perspective and give an unbiased point of view. First issue I thought I'd address is the question of whether or not it'll be supported for Steam anymore. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure the security is pretty good, although some people have questioned that.
Apparently their security is shit. So I need to do more research on that.
I think it's just better to have something I know, rather than having to switch. And according to a few sources, they haven't said any plans about removing it. However, they had a very vague interview in which they said, "We are continuing to sell Rocket League on Steam, and have not yet announced any plans to stop selling the game there. Rocket League remains available for new purchases on Steam, and long-time plans will be announced in the future." That doesn't sound very set in stone that they will keep it on Steam. They also said in another interview that they would not be removing it from the store until the transaction is complete around late 2019. One thing I saw that quite scared me though was them saying, "Steam users will continue to receive patches, DLC, and all other content that hits the PC version of the game, only through the Epic Games Store." Which basically means you would have to go to the Epic Games Store to update your Steam version of Rocket League. It's not all glory though, because one thing I've seen a few YouTubers discuss, but not many, is the questionable treatment of Epic's employees. I found a few articles that said, current and former employees say they regularly worked in excess of 70-hour weeks, with some reporting 100-hour weeks. Now, that's a lot of overtime for someone, and that was one of the problems the community had with this, with even one of Epic's employees coming out and saying, "The company gives us unlimited time off, but it's almost impossible to take that time. If I take the time off, the workload falls on other people, and no one wants to be that guy." Because not only have Psyonix apparently been working with them since 2001, but also it's the Psyonix team working on the game at the end of the day. Epic is just a launcher, meaning they are there to launch the game and find support for them. Whether it be financially or manpower, they are there to support them. An Epic representative also said, "Psyonix has always been a part of the Epic family, and we're happy to make it official," meaning that they've been working together for quite a long time, and Epic basically just put their fat stacks in Psyonix's mouth. Myself and a lot of other Rocket League players wouldn't be surprised if the game went free to play. Whether that's a good thing or not has been questioned by the community. We all agree that it may happen, but we don't agree on whether it should. And in terms of the deal overall, I think it is a good idea for Psyonix to take the deal because of the money and the things they can bring to the game, but I don't know whether taking the deal was something that the community would have wanted. I don't think there's any need to panic for creators or players, but I do think some sort of change is coming, and we'll have to wait as to whether or not it will be a good thing. What do you think? No, really, I need criticism. I can't get better otherwise, so do your thing. The next video I'll be showing you is on the other channel, my game dev channel. As some of you may have noticed, I've been getting into creating games recently, creating a few test games and a few that I want to publish at some point, one called Trojan, which I'm keeping private for a few reasons, but mainly because it takes a lot of boring work and no one wants to see it. But the one I'm tracking at the moment is called Life of a Square, a roleplay type game similar to real life but with more dramatic twists and changes to make the story and gameplay more interesting. It's better than I make it sound, trust me. If you like the idea of game dev stuff, or you like making games yourself, then this sounds about right for you. I don't put these on my main channel, but I may put the final release of the game on my main channel, if I can be bothered, that is. Once I release the game, I'll start designing the next one on that channel. So with the highly desired context, here's some clips from the video of the documentary I have up at the moment. But before I show you the clip, I would like to say that I'm hoping this is going to be weekly. I'm not counting on it, but I am hopeful I can say that.
I can't wait to leave this town, 'cause lately I've been feeling down. The cold nights just don't feel the same. Oh, like my life inside a car. Hit the button, drive real far. Put that record on me like. Oh, I'm dreaming of you. I dream of a new life. Fight in the dark till we see the sunlight. My love, it's you and I. Cross close and could not this fight. So reach for the stars, 'cause we're aiming high.
I wanted to start with a few ideas for what I wanted the game to be. I knew the name of the game and a very vague idea of what I wanted, but that was about it. So I opened up a document in OpenOffice and just slapped some ideas down on some more than adequate digital paper. I came up with this idea that it's general life, but as a square with a few dramatic twists, such as forms of bullying or something similar. This means that I can tell a story through the game, and I'm going to try and represent it visually through Easter eggs as much as possible. Once I got a general idea of what I wanted the game to be, I saved the file and got to creating the house you would spawn in whenever you mess up or just spawn. Basically, this is the most important part of the game in terms of map design, and I'm doing it first, which is just brilliant idea. The most fun and longest part of the development of the first level was creating the ornaments or something like that. Furniture, basically. Things like the bed, the desk in the bedroom, and the table and TV in the living room. These things that would probably be the most designing I would have to do in the project. For the bed, I decided I wanted to have the beginning scene where you hopped out of bed. The only problem with that was I wasted a lot of time trying to code that and not actually do anything, because eventually I scrapped the idea as it was too hard for me to implement and took too much time. For the desk, I decided that it would just be a massive wooden block. I wanted to keep the style of being only cubes for every object in the game, and I think it will stay that way for the entire game, other than the section where you become a circle and everything will be spherical then. Since the desk was so easy, I was actually just going to leave it there, but I thought I had to have some detail in the design work, so I was going to make a chair in Blender, but then I remembered everything was made in cubes, so I decided to make it in Unity. What do you think of that one? I don't care this time. I do game dev stuff for fun, not approval, but I don't mind. Feel free to comment. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this little preview. Feel free to check out my second and third channel in the description, pinned comment, and on the end screen if I can be bothered. There's a button that's red and one that's grey. It's just a reminder for you, and I'll see you in the next one.
Shattering a part of me, and I can take it. My heart is so hollow, the blood has an echo inside of my veins. My heart is so hollow, your voice is an arrow.